The modern aluminum can is a marvel of engineering. Lightweight, yet strong enough to contain the pressure of highly carbonated liquids, it has become the accepted container for a variety of beverages. And innovations such as the stay-on tab are convenient and enable the entire container to be recycled. Each year, Ball Corporation produces billions of aluminum cans and ends for customers throughout the world. While the entire process of making a can is complicated and performed under rigid quality control standards, in many ways the production of can ends is the most intricate and precise part of the container manufacturing process. Ball has been an innovator in the development of ends for metal containers as well as systems for ensuring their quality and uniformity. End production is a very precise operation. Ends must be strong enough to withstand internal pressure and provide an airtight seal, yet they also must be fragile enough to fracture at the score line when opened. Of course, they also must be produced in enormous volumes at the lowest possible cost to our customers. When ends leave our production facility, you can be sure that they have met our customers' highest quality standards. However, there are conditions that can compromise the integrity of our cans and ends once they arrive at filling operations. The most serious concern is stress corrosion around the scoring of the aluminum ends, a condition that could possibly result in a significant loss of product, as well as customer dissatisfaction. Stress corrosion has been a recognized concern of the aluminum can industry for decades, and a multitude of scientific studies have pinpointed the primary factors that cause this condition. In simple terms, we know that water in the presence of oxygen is corrosive to unprotected aluminum. Unlike the can bodies, which are coated to prevent corrosion, the score cannot be protected in this manner. Thus, corrosion becomes a threat to any metal end with a scored opening, regardless of manufacture. In scoring the end, metal is actually reformed, as you can see in this magnified view of an end, looking at it from the side. The score is just deep enough to still withstand the internal pressure, yet pop open easily when pressed by the tab. Also, in creating the score, the metal is actually under tensile stress, so that when it is open, the metal separates quickly and cleanly. Obviously, then, the scored area is where the metal is most thin and therefore most vulnerable to the corrosive effects of water and air. Independent scientific research, as well as Ball's own study, has shown that the possibility of stress corrosion is greatly increased when other factors are present, along with air and water. For example, shrink wrapping of filled containers heightens the problem because the plastic prevents normal evaporation of moisture on the ends. Temperature and humidity also are factors. We have all seen condensation form on a cold can in a warm room, and this is especially true in warm, humid climates. Corrosion can be accelerated by the presence of salts and other corrosive materials contained in the water used in the final rinses to remove residual syrup. Certainly, these should be removed, not only to prevent corrosion, but to avoid any health threat to your customers. And the carbonation of the product in the metal container can be an additional factor if any of the other conditions are present. Highly carbonated beverage will exert more internal pressure. Therefore, it will take even less corrosion of the scored area to cause a failure. So stress corrosion should be a serious concern for all filling operations. When product is being stored for more than a few days, just a few failures from stress corrosion can cause leakage onto other containers, causing them to corrode, resulting in more leakage. Without any doubt, ignoring the threat of stress corrosion can be devastating. Fortunately, this threat can be eliminated almost entirely by taking some simple preventative measures and, in some cases, adding some relatively inexpensive equipment. The most important preventive step is to remove any residual moisture from the ends before storage and shipping. This can be accomplished by using air to blow off the water from the ends after the final rinse. In 99.9% of tests, the threat of stress corrosion was eliminated simply by blow-drying the ends. This blow-off device is relatively inexpensive to buy and install on filling lines. Since it uses ambient plant air for drying and not the plant's compressed air, it is inexpensive to operate and easy to maintain. Air dryers can be tailored to your operation, adding air knives when necessary because of variable line speeds to allow 7 to 10 seconds of blow drying over each end. Also, these blowers can be wired to the conveyor power supply, and should be. In this way, whenever the conveyor is running, you can be sure the blower is as well. Although the blow-off itself can virtually eliminate the possibility of stress corrosion, other measures provide added insurance. Warmers are used in many filling operations to heat the canned product to a temperature above the dew point, thus preventing moisture buildup from condensation. Ball representatives can provide you with guidelines to achieving the desired temperature with warmers. If it is not already part of your process, the filled and sealed can end should be sufficiently sprayed with fresh water to remove any remaining conveyor lubricants, salts, or other corrosive materials used in the process. Again, this also eliminates any health hazard for your consumers. If shrink wrap is used, research studies recommend that the wrapping be perforated to facilitate some natural evaporation of residual moisture on the cans and ends. If your canned product is to be stored in a warehouse for more than a few days, providing additional airspace between the pallets will improve air circulation and facilitate natural drying. And of course, stock rotation is a good business practice for many reasons, but it also will reduce the exposure time of filled product in environments favorable to stress corrosion, such as high temperatures and humidity. Stress corrosion. It is a serious concern in any filling operation, in any climate, using any brand of aluminum can or end. But it can be eliminated by taking some easy, inexpensive preventive steps. In so doing, you can reduce product loss, ensure your profitability, and provide your customers with a canned product that is clean and dry. If you would like a free evaluation of the stress corrosion threat in your operation, contact your local Ball representative. As a company, Ball realizes that our responsibility and our partnership with you